konbanwa, konbanwa, genki desu ka? I hope you are genki desu, hope you're well, looking forward to this evening's lesson on this lovely Tuesday evening. Just wait for a few people to join us and I'll give you some dojo updates and let you know what we're doing in tonight's lesson. I've already gave a prelude, to be honest, on our Facebook page anyway. So tonight we're going to do Kanku Dai, or at least part of it. We're not going to be able to probably finish all of it because I don't want to rush it. So my intention is to do Kanku Dai part 1 this evening, tonight, Tuesday, and then part 2 on Thursday. So that's my plan, is to run through Kanku Dai. I'm confident I can do it in the short and small space that I've got. I might need to shuffle around a little bit, but I'll explain if I'm taking any additional movements away from the kata. The really good thing about Kanku Dai is that you can break it down into nice little combination sections, whatever you want to call them, phases, waves. Waves isn't even a word at the moment. So there's all different sorts of things that we can do in terms of compartmentalising all the different parts of this kata. What we would have called that in the old days is time and count, but actually I think from a learning perspective it's just really good to do them in little compartments. So that's the plan for this evening. So Kanku Dai tonight, Kanku Dai Thursday. Next week we'll complete reshuffle, we'll do something completely different. Hopefully that's the plan moving forwards. And remember, we'll do this every Tuesday and every Thursday, continuing hopefully throughout the summer. I might need a week off because I'm just getting old, but I will let you know if that is the case. A quick dojo update, that there isn't one. I am slightly been heartbroken several times this week, so my hopes were raised when we were told that on the 25th of July that sports centres and gyms etc. can reopen, and then I emailed all our schools, nothing for ages, and then messages from at least 2 of them saying we cannot open at all. One of them telling us we can't open until after the October half term, which is essentially November, which is why I put that on our Facebook page. So that's the pot and dojo completely out of the question until November. Sandy, definitely not at the moment. The school won't allow us to use their facilities either. The gym will be open for people that joined that, so that's open. Clifton we don't go through the summer anyway because we can never get the hall, so that's still going to stay closed over the summer holidays. So the earliest we'll be back there is September, but I fear it might be later. And Gamlingay were due to get back to me but didn't. I am looking at all other alternatives. I can only look at really community centres that are, I think, probably local authority run. Schools are out of the question by the looks of it. So I've asked my own school actually in Biggleswade to see if there is a possibility, see what they're doing, because I've not heard anything from the DFE. Obviously I work in a school, so but all the schools are saying they're not allowed to allow their hiring facilities out. So I'm just being transparent with you. They've all been very good with me, to be honest, because they've been honest. But I hadn't read anything about the DFE guidance, so I was going to look at that, but I can't do anything about it anyway. So there you go. So any ideas are welcome. I've heard about Everton Village Hall and Tempsford, Gamlingay Eco Hub, Potton Community Centre. They all closed still. That's the issue we've got, is that nothing is open at the moment. So until they actually open, I'm emailing people in the hope they'll pick up those emails quite quickly. But the issue being, I've already looked at, say for instance, our local community centre in Clifton, it's fully booked when it's open. So I suspect those hirers will be like me, waiting desperately to get back in there. So it's not an easy thing. I will continue to keep trying, I promise you. As soon as I get an update, as soon as I get somebody that can say you can have a hall, whatever night it may be, and I've said we'll have it any night, because I just want to get people back in a hall really, to be honest, and back training. So at the moment, we continue on a Tuesday and a Thursday online on Facebook Live. I'll keep posting these on the on the YouTube channel as well. I'm still doing the beginner's guide to Shotokan karate on YouTube. I'm going to shoot some more of those videos hopefully this week if the weather picks up in the mornings, and then that's the way forward at the moment. The plan is still to go to Holcombe Beach on the 13th of September, so I'm looking forward to that. I can't make any promises about the September grading, but I promise you if I could get a venue I would hold a grading for those people that have been training with us, and I know who you all are, so because you deserve it more than anybody else. So I've got all sorts of plans. Okay, I'm going to meet with the senior instructors hopefully tomorrow, and we're just going to have a quick chat about maybe what the future might look like and the way that we can make things work for everybody to get people back in the dojos. but it won't be any time soon, so apologies for that. Okay, so let's have a quick say hello to people and then get the lesson going. Okay, Andy Sensei, Andy Viner Sensei is here, Ken Sensei, all here, good, all the senseis. Harry or Caleb this evening, hopefully both will be even better, but I appreciate that might not be possible. Sammy Do, good evening, and good evening, Harry, excellent, and Matthew, thank you very much for joining us. Thomas, good evening, Isaac. Isaac, you missed out for cricket. What on earth are you doing, young man? You know they wear white suits. Who does that sort of thing? Okay, so hang on a minute. Are you allowed to play cricket again? I suppose it's outdoors, isn't it? It's unfair. Kayla, good evening, Kayla. Good evening, Michaela and Betsy. So thank you very much, everybody, for your suggestions on all the different venues. Another thing I didn't point out, I have to be, and this is just me personally, Sam, good evening, I do not want to go into a village or a town and tread on the shoes of any other Shotokan karate instructors. Okay, so I am aware, certainly the Henlo Pavilion, for instance, there is already a karate club there. I'm not going to do that. That's not my style, and I think it'd be really rude, and I'd be upset if somebody did it to me. So I don't even know if that place is open either. That's on my list of things to do. But I can't do that. I can't go into just anywhere. If it's got a karate club and it's particularly Shotokan, then we have a code of conduct which pretty much says leave each other alone to run those clubs. So please bear with me. I am desperately trying to find a venue, and I will keep trying, I promise. Enough on that, because I'm getting depressed. Let's bow. Okay, so just a quick warm up, and we'll do Kanku Dai. Okay, so arms forwards. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, go, and jo, and relax. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, go, and jo. Okay, so remember these joints here, the shoulders, really important to just keep these loose. They're big, heavy joints, okay, like your hips and like your knees, just relaxing. Okay, arms out. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shish, hach, ko, and ju. Okay, crossing all the way over. Ish, and ni, and san, and shi, and go, and ro, and sich, and hach, and ko, and ju. And arms up. Ish, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ko, and ju. Okay, so your arms should be nice and relaxed now. So remember, tukubi, your wrists, and hiji, your elbows, or MP, and your shoulders. Kata, relax. Okay, learn how to control your body. That's the best thing I can, one of the best things I can tell you about Shotokan karate is it allowed me to be able to combine my brain and body to make it stronger, better, faster. Sound like the $6 Million Man, which was always my dream as a youngster. You have to be of a certain age to remember that. Okay, so hips around, koshi. Okay, just both all the way around. There is a little story behind that. As a young person, my favourite TV show was The $6 Million Man. $6 Million Man had a bionic eye, a bionic arm, and bionic legs. Well, I've got bionic legs, I've had a bionic arm with metal pits in it, but I've had those taken out, and I can't see a thing. So I reckon 2/3 of the way there. So I'm the $3.25 million man, in my own opinion. Those that know me well know that I've always wanted to be a superhero or something like that, so there you go. Okay, so hips, square, showman, and hips are hammy, and showman, and hammy, and showman, and hammy, and showman, and hammy, and showman. Change legs. Okay, so hips are hammy, showman, hammy, showman, hammy, showman, hammy, showman, hammy, showman. Good, relax. Okay, so now both feet facing forward as much as possible, and relax the hips. And change. Remember, you can't do this if your back foot is turned out. You won't be able to move your hip. You'll be able to move your knees, which is going to cause some problems. So relaxing the hips, really important. Our body is a biomechanical chain, easy for me to say, a biomechanical chain, okay? Everything links together, and you just have to learn how to make it work its most effective way, I think is the correct thing. You can make it work in a bad way, because I've done that for many years. Okay, just Zenko Sudachi, kick in, Maigiri and back. Ni, and san, and shi, and go. Yeah. Okay, change legs. Ich, and ni, san, nice and relaxed. Shi, go. Sensei Rayo, good evening. Whoosh. Okay, so hips back round again. And the other way. Ultimately, I need my own dojo. I think that's everybody's agree with me. So we just need a community fund of about £600,000 to fund one, and then we'll be fine. It's a good cause, I think. Okay, ready. Us. So tonight we're going to do Kata Kanku Dai. Okay, and my plan is to do it very slowly. If it takes one lesson, or 2 lessons, or 3 lessons, and I think that's correct. Okay, this is the black belt kata that most of us are probably most fearful of, but shouldn't be. I used to dread this kata. I dreaded learning it, I dreaded doing it, particularly because it wasn't great for me in my black belt, although I got through it. But basically it's a long kata, 3 times longer than all the heians, so it's about 64 moves, something like that. Okay, but the moves are everything you've seen before, pretty much. There's a couple of extra things that you've not seen before, but in terms of the heian katas, if you think of all of those jumbled up into one, that's Kanku Dai. And some say that Kanku Dai came first and the heians were made after. So there's, I mean, history in Shotokan karate is sketchy at best, but there's one theory there, and certainly I've read many a book about that. So there'll be bits that you recognise and bits that you truly don't have a clue what they are, but I would say that anybody can learn this kata just because of the basic principles behind it. So regardless of whether you're a beginner or you're a ninth dan, you're going to find something in this evening and Thursday's lessons that you're going to find interesting. Okay, so let's get started. Straighten gears and obis. And Kyotsuke. So Haisukadachi, remember, sorry, Musubadachi, feet together, toes pointing out, hands by your sides, and standing bow, ready. Okay, Ayoi. So from the yoi position, I'm going to move forwards and backwards. I'm trying to see myself in terms of the camera frame lens, as it were, aperture, so that so I can fit everything in and you can see it comfortably. Okay. So, but also likewise, I don't know about the sound. I'm hoping you can hear me because I've turned the microphone up. So from here, yoi position is just standard. So this is a standard yoi. If you remember when we did Basai Dai the other week, we did Jio no Kamai. Okay. But Kanku Dai, we just start here, okay. Then we take up this position, and this is our yoi position, okay. Now I'm going to come closer to the camera and show you that this is the triangle that we're aiming to make. It's an upside down triangle, and if you see, I've got my index finger on my right hand and my thumb on my right hand, and they are on top of the finger and first index finger and thumb of the left hand. So the right hand, it's just literally covering the nails of both hands, like so. And then naturally let the arms drop. A bit like Basai Dai, just naturally let the arms drop. So you ready? Yoi and Kanku Dai and yoi. Okay, so this is our starting position. Okay, so that's where we're going to do everything from. So Kanku Dai essentially means viewing the sky. The Dai bit is major. There is a minor version called Kanku Sho, which is later on, a second dan sort of kata, and that one has some spectacular jumps in it. It's really very cool kata. This one likewise has some very cool techniques in it, some really interesting techniques. So the yoi position here, okay, is where we're starting from. Okay, so once more, right? Hey yoi, Kanku Dai. Ayoi. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate slowly the first couple of moves, and then you'll be able to do them hopefully with me at home. So first moves, remember your shoulders please, remember relaxing your shoulders, let your arms come up. As you look through the triangle, okay, you follow it, and as it gets to the top, the hands open. And it's kind of like a quite strong opening. Here. Here, come round, and then the right hand is going to shoot over the left hand, like so. Now if you do this too hard, and I'm sure at some point you're going to, you will bruise your hand, okay? My hand has completely gone black previously when I've done this too hard, a bit overzealous, okay? So just be mindful of that, juniors, okay? So not too hard, so yoi position here, hands come up nice and relaxed slowly, open and strong. Don't go like this and miss. Don't go like this and too fast. Make sure it comes up. Do not rush this bit. Count to about 3 or 4. When the hands get to the top, strong and doom. Good sound effects there, doom. Okay, so nice technique here. Okay, so once more, right. Hayoi. Each. Shoulders down. Following up. Ni. And san, striking. Okay, so Hayoi. Once more. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San, and strike. Strike. We strike with kime here, but don't bring your shoulders up. So kime with your shoulders down. Remember what I said about learning about your body? Yeah, understanding how it works is really important. When you come down here, and this is not right, because your next move will be like this. Okay, so this is not good. Your next move needs to flow. It needs to be yeah, flowing. I think is the right words. Kanku Dai. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Okay, so then from here, Kakutsudachi, back stance, left leg out, okay, and you're going to do Shotokan, but you're not going to do Shotokan normal, okay, or what we consider to be normal, okay. You are going to come from this position here, Tati. Tati is vertical, so Tati is vertical, straight up, yeah, Shotokan, okay, and then from the opposite side. So I don't know if it's coming across on the screen or not. I am ever so slightly shortening my stance this side to my left, purely because of the great big oak table was there. I don't really want to hit it. But you don't need a wide stance. Okay, that's just the point. You don't need huge long stances in this particular kata. So, bow yoi, Kanku Dai, yoi, ich, ni. San. Shi. Okay, so just check your position. Check your position. Kakutsudachi. Make sure you're sitting down on your back leg. Okay, and you're 70% on the back leg, 30% on the front leg. Sit down. Make sure the knee is above the big toe as per normal. Okay, hand on solar plexus here, hand vertical, and then change to the opposite side. Now, whatever you think is vertical, you're probably going to have to bring it in another inch. Okay, because what we see from this perspective is not correct, and generally we have to just drop the shoulder maybe and bring the hand back slightly to try and get this vertically. Okay, and the next move, the left hand comes out, right hand on the hip to here. Okay, and so that's essentially what I'm going to call our first wave phase combination. Okay, so this would be 1 and then 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 1, 2. That's the sort of thing that I want you to kind of create in your head, if you can, because this will give you an idea of how the kata fits together, all of these different elements. And as per normal, as is my style, I'm going to build my kata like Lego. So we're going to start with one piece, and then we build second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and we just keep repeating, keep going back to the beginning. Okay. Whenever you make something out of Lego, 9 times out of 10, if you don't read the instructions, you're going to have to go back to the beginning anyway. I'm male, that is often the case, so just rebuild from the beginning until you get it right. Until you get it right. Awesome. Hayoi. So, Kanku Dai, hayoi. Okay, so ich, ni, san, shi. And remember this right elbow to tuck in. Okay, tuck in here. And this is again Tati, vertical. Okay, upright, yeah. Push out here. So Tati, Tati. Tati means vertical. Well, as much as I can get it correct. Once more. Kanku Dai, hayoi. Ich. Ni. Watch those shoulders. San. Shi. Okay, so now we continue. So remember Basso Dai from a couple of weeks. Next move is from Basso Dai. Okay, so punching straight. Remember as a wipeout, Chokuzuki, hits Shomen. Off the chest. Uchiyuki feeling, Motodachi. Yeah, and Gyaku. So here. Opposite side to here. Okay. So once more. I'm hoping I'm fitting all this in frame. Okay. So your first of all say kata us Kanku Dai. Hey oi. So shoulders down. Even when we bring our arms up, shoulders down. Yeah, not shoulders up. Shoulders down. Break. More strength. Yeah, shoulders up, no strength. 1, 2. Push up. Elbow tucked in. Motodachi. Yeah, twisted stance. We did this on a couple of weeks ago. So before we did Drip-On, we did Basso Dai. Just going to say hello to a few more people. Good evening, Ashley. Good evening, Esme. Hope you're well. I'm not sure if you can see on the back there. There's Esme on the wall and Ashley and Wayne. Thank you for our cards. They're absolutely lovely. Good evening, Alex. Hope you're well. And good evening, Lee. Hope you're well. Good evening, Sensi Perry. Ross. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so continuing. Oh, you just got a big forehead in your screen. My apologies for that. Hey, so remember this yoi position. Remember these. Okay, not too much in your shoulders. Let your shoulders just drop and relax. Ready? Yoi Kanku Dai. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Okay, then that's that first combination done. Then 1, 2. Ayame. So punch Chokuzuki, Motodachi, Uchuki Motodachi, Uchuki Motodachi here. Okay. So 1, 1, 2, push out. Then 1, 2. Okay, and think of it like that. I'm not going to go into timing count this evening. I'm not going to go into the whole bunkai thing of it as well. Just going to teach the basic moves. But higher grades, you obviously already know that. Lower grades, we will work with this with you later on. Okay, so we continue then from this position. So right, yoi. I'll slow down again because I'm speeding up, I can tell. And say the kata Kanku Dai. Hey yoi. Ich. Ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ko. Hey, and then from here, looking behind, okay. A Koshikamai position as your hands come to your left hip, right hand on top. Yokogari Kiyagi. Yokogari Kiyagi, Yorakan. I'll show you in a second what I mean. Behind, a Shutoki. Okay, so from Kata Heian Nidan. So I'm going to try and draw in the Heians. When I talk about this kata, I'll try and draw in the different katas that we're stealing bits from. Okay, or did they steal bits from this kata? So this bit obviously we've not done in previous katas, okay? And this bit here, these are both new as well. But this, we've definitely done Tachi Shuto, okay? We definitely did it in Basso Dai. We definitely did Shokuzuki, this feeling here, in Basso Dai. We definitely did this bit, okay, in Heian Nidan. Okay? So we are taking elements from all of those other katas. All those elements were taken from this kata, whichever way you want to read your history. Okay, so once more, us. Yoi. And say kata Kanku Dai. Yoi. Ich. Now, I look straight ahead when I do this. I used to look at my hands. The problem is, I think this ruins your form. And I don't need to do that now, because now I've learned how to control my body and put my hands where I need to do them. Okay. It takes some time. I think to start with, you will undoubtedly look at your hands, because I used to do all sorts of things. I even dislocated my thumb doing this kata once, where I wasn't paying attention, walloped really hard, and my thumb came out. Okay, painful. Only did it once. Haven't done it again. We're not doing karate anyway. So it's really important that you learn about your body. So maybe to start with, you're going to need to look down at this. Okay, arms up, arms up. Always looking in the direction of where we're going. Look to the front, push out. Yeah, punch into the front here. Look behind, because we're then going to kick behind. Okay. Please make sure, like me, that you're making sure that you don't smash up your dojo. Okay, I've spent ages building this, and my family is still allowing me to keep it in the kitchen, so we must look after these things. Ayoi. Kanku Dai. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ro. Sich, hutch. Okay, so that move there, okay, is your Rakin Kiyagi. So if I do my back to the screen, I hope that's okay, but I'm going to come a little bit closer, hopefully make things a little bit more easy for you to see. So from here, 1, 2, push out, 1, 2, 1, 2. We look behind here. Okay, so looking behind, a back fist, the same as Heian Nidan, a back fist, and Kiyagi Geri, a Shitoki. It might be too close. So here, you reckon, yeah, back fist, don't let it go, control it. Okay, so Kiyagi Geri, here, a Shitoki. Kiyagi Geri, Shitoki. Hope that is okay. Okay, so that's kicking behind you, behind you, and then you're just landing Shitoki facing towards the front. So showman of the dojo. So once more, and then we'll build on for that. Kanku Dai. Yoi ich. Ni. 3、4、5、6. Front leg moves. Ish. Okay, so from here, think Heian Nidan. So literally think Heian Nidan from that move. You're Rakin Kiyagi, land in Shuto, and then Shuto forwards. Shuto forwards, same as Heian Nidan. Oseoki, Shihon Nugate, Iya! And Kiai. Okay, it's exactly the same as Heian Nidan. So I've run out of room. So I've landed in my Shuto. Shuto forwards. Shuto forwards. Oseoki, Iya! Shihon Nugate. Shihon Nugate. Okay, so remember I am going to run out of space. There's 100% guaranteed that as I move forwards, sideways we're okay. I've worked this out. But that part of the kata is just the same as Heian Nidan, so it's no different. So once you've done your kick, the kick is slightly different, okay, just purely because in Heian Nidan we're sort of half a step up, but we start from essentially the same position because it's just a transitional position, okay. So we've done our punches here, Koshi Kamai, just bring the front leg up, okay, just bring the front leg up to the knee, so like so. Then Kiyagi, okay, and back fist at the same time, behind. Okay, so once more, up to, that's the first kiai. Now everyone gets super excited when they reach the first kiai because they always think traditionally that's halfway through the kata. Let me remind you that this is a long kata and that's not even a quarter of the way through. Okay, right, which is why it's so good. Kanku Dai, hey oi. Okay, so take your time, ich. 2、3、4、5、 behind, front leg up, ish. Shuto uki position, shuto forwards, ich. Shuto again, ish. Just shuffle back there. Osi uki shonikite, iya! Kiai. Os. Okay, so once more, up to the first kiai, because I think hopefully you're starting to bring these elements together. Okay, and if you're not, just have fun. It doesn't make any difference. Remember I said a few weeks ago when we did Basso Dai, I could teach you Onsu right now and you're probably going to remember two moves. Almost certainly you're going to remember the jump, but you're going to probably remember falling on the floor and the jump, okay? But actually you're maybe a green belt and you're not ready to do Onsu for another 15 years. In 15 years time you'll remember falling on the floor and you'll remember the jump. Because that is the way of karate, okay? I learned Niji Shiho as a green belt, I think it was, on a course, and when I came to learning that as a kata, I remember bits of that, and there was just little bits that helped me learn it. Okay, so all experience is good, all learning is good. Even when we don't think we're learning, we actually are. And the best way to learn is to fail and repeat and regenerate and re-have a go and all those things to kind of get the message home, so our brain is able to put it back together. Us. Anyway, Kanku Dai. Each. Check those shoulders. Breaking and striking. Okay, so each. Ni. San. Left foot slightly pushes up. Chokazuki. Okay, Chokazuki, straight punch. Off the chest, drop the hip. Straight, off the chest, drop the hip. Look behind. Bring that front leg up to your knee and kick. Yuraken Kiaki. Yuraken Kiaki. Shutoki. Ich. I'm going to shorten my stances. Ni. Osuki Shonogate. Iya! Kiai. Kiai. So from here, I think the next bit is complicated, okay? So I'm just going to quickly randomly turn Gidan Shuto, Jodan Shuto Uchi. Okay, now you know these from Heian Yondan and other katas, okay, Heian Godan as well. So here, twist, you definitely know this from Heian Yondan. Yeah, so this is what I mean about taking elements from other katas or other elements taking them from this kata. So we're here, kicking my geri, which again you know from Heian Yondan, kick my geri, but then we turn Manjuki, okay, from Heian Godan, Manjuki. Okay, so the way that this combination works is a combination of, how this combination works is a combination of Yondan and Godan bits, okay? Nicely put together. So you're going to go 1, 2, kick Maigeri, turn Manjuki, Godan, again striking Gidan, Shuto, and then putting up to T stance. Not dissimilar to Heian Shogun, okay, before we do the hammer fist. So you can see, you've done these moves before. What you're doing now is just putting them together in a different order. Okay. So I'm going to go to the Kiai point here. Yeah. So from here, so back foot across, 1, okay, 1, 2. Kiai point here, 1, 2. Okay, so this is an Agyuki block, and this is a strike, Jodan Shuto Uchi. Okay, so from this position here, kick my Geri Jodan, turn Manjuki. Okay, and then from this bit here, striking Gidan Shutoichi and pulling up Teji Dachi T stance, Teji T stance. Okay, so again, 1, 2, kick my Geri, turn Manjuki. Yeah, thus, if I do it this way, 1, 2, kick, oh, lost my balance. Don't whatever you do what I just did, lose your balance, and then pull up. I'll do that again because that was rubbish. Thus, a little bit of a moment there, it's a senior moment. Okay, so 1, 2. Maigeri Jodan, turn Manjuki. Straight down the centre. Pull up. We're going to pay quite a bit of attention to the detail of this particular combination because I think when I started learning Kanku Dai, I found it really difficult. Whilst I said it was easy in terms of we've done all these katas before, Shodan and Yondan and Godan, and just twisting those elements together. It's not that easy, I don't think, to start with. So if you've got your 3 Lego cars, Hien Shodan, Hien Yondan, Hien Godan, okay, and what you want to do is put them together and make a really good car, hence this element of the kata, then you have to break them apart. And when you break them apart, things can kind of get a little bit disjointed. Your memory changes, fades, thinks you heard or did something a different way. And we pick up these small but can be bad habits. None of them are fatal, I mean it's only karate, but it can really mess around with your head a little bit. So we have to kind of spend a bit of time on this particular element of the kata. Okay, so I'm going to break it down for you. So we've done our ki-ai point, okay, Shihon Nugata, yeah, here. So our first one, the left leg comes across, the left arm goes down. Okay, so if I imagine this is my left leg goes across, left arm down. Okay, so from the ki-ai point here, left foot here. This right hand is then ready, yoi position, but also blocking, agyuki position here, and attacks. And we switch. So we switch the hand. Okay, so this is a block, this is a strike, this becomes another block and strike. It makes more sense when you put the whole thing together and you understand the bunkai of it, but we're not doing that tonight. Too much information, I think, overload. So block and strike. Okay, now here, it's always good to get a reference point, I think. And I've got lots of confusing things in front of me. I've got lovely Esme, I've got Buddha, I've got an elephant, I've got me with a mo, okay, from November, and various different things on the walls. And this is not my dojo. Well, it has become my dojo, I guess. And so my reference points maybe disappear to where I normally train. This is where you can get slightly disorientated, and that can really affect where your line is. Okay, so you're forgetting where you are. I'm also at the moment concentrating on where I am for you in terms of the camera angle, because if I disappear here, you can't necessarily see me. So we have to think of these points, but in the kata itself, if you think of your embusun as just saying straight towards you, and then you towards me, you won't go far wrong. You've just got to keep that line. So from here, this hopefully is not far off the centre of the camera. Okay, for me, it's not, but I'm going to, for you to see, I stay along this line, Okay, kick, Jodan Maigeri, and I turn, I stay along this line. And now I'm back in line with where I was. So you just need to go forwards, and when you turn, go back along the same line. And that's true of most katas. When you go sideways, you stay on line, and when you go forwards, you stay on line. When you go angles of 45 degrees, you still stay in those lines. So always try to remember that. And so if you have lost your reference points, you know, a particular part that you're used to in the dojo that you look at for your kata reference, you know, you don't need it. You could do it with your eyes closed and do it just as well. Okay, so from this position here then, from the ki-ai point, here, Gidan Shuto, Jodan Shuto Uchi, so this is Zenkutsu Dachi. As we twist the hips, okay, we keep the shoulders down, and we're still in Zenkutsu Dachi, so this way, we're still in Zenkutsu Dachi. Okay, then we kick Maigeri Jodan. So Maigeri Jodan is chin height, so you don't need to bring your leg really high, okay, you just, wherever you are in terms of your stance, yeah, that's your Maigeri. So Maigeri, and then you turn Manjuki. Okay, so you kick Maigeri, and you turn Gidan Barai, arm up here like from the Kata Hien Godan. Manjuki, back stance, Gidan Barai, sort of Soto-ryuki type feeling. Okay, so the way I was always taught about Manjuki and the understanding of it is that if you think of the swastika, okay, as a symbol, majority of people, unfortunately, from a modern history perspective, think of the Nazis and think of it as a bad thing. If you go to Asia, particularly Japan, or anywhere else in Asia, you'll see the swastika reversed round, so the way it was originally done. Okay, this is thousands of years old, and it's a symbol of peace and love and happiness, and just, it's a beautiful symbol, and it's in all of the temples everywhere. So this is where that comes from, okay? But I was always taught that this manjuki was called swastika stance. Now I don't know whether that's a true translation at all, because obviously that symbol is not called the swastika. The Nazis named it that. But I think from our perspective as Europeans, I'm not sure we can call ourselves that now, can we? But from a Western perspective, we have always been taught from a karate perspective that's called the swastika stance. I'd like to know what its true translation means. So I'm sure that Sensei Ken or Sensei Andy, because they're like oracles, will be able to find me the answer. But that's just the story that the way that I was taught it, and that stuck with me. My sensei taught me that, and it makes perfect sense, because if you overlay two people doing this particular manjuki stance, okay, one facing one way and one facing opposite them, you can actually see a swastika quite comfortably, okay, if you squint your eyes and turn your head a little bit. But it does work, okay. So now that story could have been made up to help me understand it as a student of karate. It worked. It worked fantastically because I understand the technique and the stance. So we may at times as instructors come up with these little stories and to engage juniors and to engage adults, and to if people ask questions and don't quite understand, we come up with our own little ways of helping you find the way of karate. I hope that makes sense. Beginning this kata, I tell the story that this is a story of a samurai warrior going into battle who has an invisibility cloak like Harry Potter, and he throws it off and then he goes about his battle, and at the end he does a reverse move of that pretty much, okay, where he puts it back on, disappears off the battlefield. That story was told to me by my sensei. I've put in the Harry Potter bit because I think he's cool. It helps children learn, it helps the adults learn, okay. I hope that makes sense. We don't make up these stories because they're fun or we're taking jesting at you or as students. We're doing it to help, and that's the whole point. So good instructors come up with different ways of engaging their students, and hopefully after 30 years I'm getting there. Okay, so we're going to put this together from the beginning right the way through to the kiai, and then we're going to show you this combination, and I'm going to show it both ways because you'll see me turn, because we do this little combination twice. Then I will, as I said I was going to do, break it down. I just think I'm moving a little bit too quickly. So let me put it into context first. Kanku Dai. So that's us. That's what we're going to do. Get up to that point before 10-2. Yeah, pretty much, I hope. So that's where we're aiming to get to. We're on track for where I want to get to for the end of this evening's lesson. So let's break this down. So from the kiai perspective here, ya! Gidan shuto, jodan shutoichi. Twist, jodan shutoichi. Kick maigeri, jodan, turn manjuki. Now, when you turn, lazy people will kick and let their leg drop and just turn on that foot. Never drop your foot on a kick, okay? Kick, step down into back stance, step down into manjuki. Really important that you understand that, because then you understand the kata, okay? If you just let your leg drop after a kick, well, you've not understood anything. So kicking like this and letting your leg drop down is a complete lack of understanding and just not Shotokan. So it's really important from here, kick and step into back stance. Okay, then strike, and the strike, a parry, nagashi. Yeah, so here, down the centre. There is a temptation, and you will almost certainly do this to start with, lean forward. Okay, but back straight here. And then you just pull up into T stance. Okay, letter T, tejidachi. Remember, the foot length between the two is your foot length, like so. And this is a really crucial, important part of the kata. Because this kata is so long, most people, what they tend to do when they do the kata, say competitions, gradings and in the dojo, is they go stupidly fast and they get absolutely tired out by the time they've got through the first third of the kata, which we're not quite up to. They then just kind of fall apart in the middle and it just becomes monotone, it becomes one flat line, okay, the moves just walk into another. And then they pick the pace up again and it just doesn't work, okay. So Kanku Dai, you have to understand that these little combinations I'm showing you are part of you enabling you to breathe, to be able to finish the kata correctly. So this is a crucial one. This is where I fill my lungs with a brand new set of oxygen, okay? Literally, big as I can, I take it up as much as I can. Yeah, when I do this move, again, it's that big intake of oxygen to enable your lungs to cope with what's coming, because the next barrage of techniques are all really fast. So you have to have that reserve. So you want to build a reserve. Okay? And you go into this combination again, and the second time you pull up here, and you need this big reserve because the next moves are 2 Yurakin Kyagis. Okay? And they're not easy techniques to do. Bringing up both legs, one after the other, same as getting on down, really, really difficult techniques. You need to regulate your breathing. Okay? You need to regulate your breathing. So that's the whole purpose behind this. So again, from the Ki perspective, I'm going to show you facing this way, then I'll face that way. Okay, from here, Gidan Shuto, Jodan Shuto Uchi, twisting, Jodan Shuto Uchi, kicking my giri, Jodan, step down, Manjuoki, strike and pull up. And then repeat again. So left foot out, Gidan Shuto Uchi, Jodan Shuto Uchi, Jodan Shuto Uchi, kick my giri, turn Manjuoki, strike, T-stance. Okay, so same again, from this position here, back leg across, here, twist the hip, so just twist the hip, here, okay, kick my giri, turn, Manjuoki, strike, pull up, then again, so hopefully you're starting to get that combination, okay, and try not to just let the leg drop, so better to bring it back. I think we all sometimes get a little bit, forget that and just let the leg drop down, fatigue, old age, all those sorts of different things, but actually it's bring it back, kick my giri from here, much better. Yeah, much better. Okay, so we're going from the beginning of the kata right way through to that point there. Okay, and we're, I'd say, pretty much there a third. Okay, third of the way through, so on track. Kanku Dai. Hey, oi. Okay, so each. Remember, don't rush this bit. Break and strike. Ish. 2 3 1 2 look behind your Yurakin Kyagi 1 Shutoki 1 2 shuffling back there to make room 3 Ki there. Okay, so turning 1 Zenkutsudachi 2 Zenkutsudachi again, drop your shoulders, kick my Geri Jodan 1 turn Manjuoki, step down into stance, remember don't fall, striking 1 disengage. It's where you catch your breath. Take your time there, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Yeah, in kata competitions people take ridiculous amounts of time, but building that energy up, yeah, refilling those lungs with as much oxygen as you can. Then again you go 1 2 kick and turn, bring it back, step down, 3, strike to here. So we'll finish off then with the next 2 moves, okay, because they repeat each other from Heian Yondan Kata. T stance, remember. From the Gidanbarai position here, looking over your left shoulder. Now I'm going to just shuffle forward because otherwise the bin's going out the window. So from here, Koshi Kamai, position ready to kick Hiyagi this direction and back fist. Okay? So from this position here, pull up, Koshi Kamai here, Hiyagi Geri Raken, and Washi and Piyuchi. Pull up here to here. Okay, so once more for T stance. Pull up. 1. That's close. 2. Make sure I've got room now. I'll turn this way now to show you from this position here. So from here, yeah. So you've just done this bit here. Pull up slowly. Build that energy. Get that big breath in. Koshi Kamai here. Straight up. Hiyagi Geri. And here. Straight to the knee. Hiyagi Geri to here. I'm struggling with that because I've nearly twice taken the bin out and nearly just caught the chair there, so I'm just being mindful that I might have to just draw my kicks in a little bit more. I might go this side a bit more. It's not me I'm worried about, you see. I'm used to breaking my body. That's quite a dumb thing throughout the whole of my life. If I break the table or chairs though, I'm a dead man, so there's no point in sort of hiding that fact. So, back to T stance here. Control here. Back fist. Hiyagi Geri. And a nice good wallop with a Moshi and Piyuchi there. Come back, but straight up to the knee. Okay? Hiyagi Geri. And then a nice Mawashi and Piyuchi. But don't lean forward, I think I did. Do as I say, not as I do. Here. Hips were not quite square. Okay, so that's from Heian Yondan. Please note, slight change. So Yondan, we do Haisukadachi, Koshi Kamai, Iraken Hiyagi, so exactly the same. We go to Haisukadachi, but not in this kata. This kata more advanced. So we pull up from here straight to the knee. Think of Sagi Ashidachi, supported leg stance, yeah? That sort of feeling. Knee into the direction of where you want to go. Hiyagi Geri, here. Come back up to knee. Yeah. Hopefully that makes some sense. Okay, so we're going to go all the way from the beginning right way through to that point. We might get a bit further. Okay, don't want to go too much too soon, but hopefully you'll still with me. That'd be great. You know, I never actually know until the end of the lesson whether anyone's been watching, to be perfectly honest, or if anybody really comments. So look at the beginning and have a quick look at the end. It tells me roughly how many people are watching me, which never correlates with the actual numbers of people watching. So I might think there's 9 people watching, and then I'll get back and look at the screen and there's 600. It's bizarre. So yeah. So I just hope you're there. It'd be great if there's a microphone on your end and you could shout at me and say, I'm here. Okay, so say the kata first of all. And ready? Os, yoi, Kanku Dai, yoi. Okay, so nice and slow. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ro. Front leg up and look over the side. Ich. Shutoki. Ish. Ni. Shuffle back. San. Iya. Hey, key eye point there. Then ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. And roll. Yeah, again repeat. Ich. Ni. San. Shi, go, roll, sich, hutch. Very, very close to kicking the bin then. Okay, so from here, next 4 moves then, and this is as far as we'll get this evening. Turn Shotokan. I'm sorry if that's out of frame. Shotokan 45. Shotokan and Shotokan. Okay, so I know that's too close to the camera. I'm sure miles too close. So I'm going to show you that from further back. Okay. So we've done our Kiyagi geris. So if we think of this position here, okay, so we do our Kiyagi to the left, we do our Kiyagi to the right, okay, and then you come back to the left Shuto, then 45-degree Shuto, back to the side Shuto, and 45-degree Shuto. If I show you from this position here, you're racking Kiyagi here, here. Okay, so Shuto 1, Shuto 2, 45 degrees, Shuto 1 to the side, 45 degrees. I hope I'm fitting that in somehow and you can see at least roughly what I'm talking about. So there's 4 Shutos from the katas here, and you Shodan here, and Nidan to name 2. So again, we're going back to the beginning of what we said this evening, the early part of this evening, that Kanku Dai is a mixture of the Heian katas, or the Heian katas driven or come back down from Kanku Dai. So my theory is that Kanku Dai was first and they were made in afterwards. Some people might say differently, but that's just my theory. So we're going to repeat the kata again a couple more times this evening, and we're going to just go up to the 4 Shutos, and then we're going to stop at that point this evening and continue on Thursday. So that's the plan. Okay, so again, just do it nice and slow speed. I'm afraid I do have to shuffle when we get to the Shutos because you can't see it in shot, but if I kick the side of this unit, I am going straight to hospital. So I would have to just adjust my stance, but I'll tell you when I'm shuffling. Okay, so yoi, say kata, Kanku Dai, and yoi. Ich. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 shuffle back. 11. Okay, so that's our first kirai then. So now we continue into our next combination. Remember, there's 6 elements to this combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rock. Okay, shuffling. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, your mate. I don't think that's great. I think I'm going out of shot, but hopefully you've been listening and you can understand what I've said in terms of those 4 Shutos. I did think about turning the camera to landscape again, but it doesn't work. You don't see the arms at all. You don't see the Jodan Tati Shutos or anything else, if I'm perfectly honest. So whilst it was good for techie, it's not really good for anything else. So this kata does go forwards, doesn't really go a great deal side, but I appreciate I'm getting a little bit too close to the camera. So I'll do it again for you now, okay? And I'll shuffle back just so that you can see it once more. So the plan is, again, as I said, I'll repeat this at the end of the lesson, but we'll continue this on Thursday. Okay, ready? Okay, so one last time. Kanku Dai. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Hach. Ko. Ju. Juich. Juni. Shuffling back. San. Jishi. Iya. Okay, so key eye point there. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. And repeat. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rok. Sich. Ko. Please excuse my counting, it just went all over the place then. Shotokan. Ich. Shuffling. Shotokan. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. I hope that was slightly better for the shuto, so I did nearly put my foot in the dog bowl and nearly got covered in dog food, but there you go. You could do Kanku Dai anywhere, almost, it didn't quite fit in, but it's hopefully getting there. So we, I don't know, are we 2/3 way through? No, we're not. We're definitely not. Probably about halfway through, which I think is really good, because then that means Thursday we can finish the kata. So I'm going to stop there, because I don't want to overload people if they're learning this, and if you know it and haven't done it for a while, I bet you've probably enjoyed this actually as a recap. It's difficult to, I think, train outside of what we're used to, so training online I think is really difficult. Whether you're just watching or whether you're actually doing it, it's not the same as us being person to person. It's not the same as us being able to physically show you how to adjust your technique. I'm telling you everything through a TV screen or camera screen or camera lens, so it's not the same thing. I'm doing my best to get this across to you, I think, but it's nothing like me in the dojo. So this is a different self, certainly not my better self, but I don't know. I thought I was getting used to this, but actually I'm not so sure I am. So again, feedback really important, please. Please keep the suggestions around the dojos coming in. I'm looking into everything. It's got to be, I think, a village hall, church hall or community centre. I don't think we're going to be allowed in any schools. And I think that's because they've been given specific advice by the Department for Education. So that's what I'm told by 2 of mine at least. And it could just be local authority actually, it could be just the local authority saying no as well. So at the moment, as I said at the beginning of the lesson, if you've just joined late, I'm really sorry, but the Potton Dojo is actually closed till November. We're not allowed back in there until after the half term. Sandy is still remaining closed at the moment. Clifton we can't have for the summer holidays anyway, and Gamlingay are yet to confirm, but I suspect because the schools have already shut down for the summer that we're not going back there anytime soon either. So the very earliest we'll get into our own dojos is going to be September, but I just know from my own school's perspective the beginning of September is going to be difficult enough for schools, let alone hiring out facilities to people like ourselves. As much as we want it, as much as I'm desperately upset at the moment, and if you ask my wife, she gets it in the ear every single day, it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. So I'm going to continue to try. If I find a place where we can use, if I can find a hall, no matter where it is, no matter what night, I will let you know. And then, you know, if you're prepared to, you can come and travel there. It will be local. I won't do it anywhere too far away. But also, as I said earlier, I will not be treading on other people's toes. I have too much respect for other karate instructors to do that. So I'll keep you updated. 13th of September, though, we're still going beach training. I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop us from there. Even if it's thunder and lightning, you can still train on the beach as long as you don't go in the water. So it's important that we look forward to that, and I'll continue this through the summer. I did say that I might take a break, and I might do that in August, but I'll let you know if that's going to be the case. It will only be for 1 week if I did do that. So I haven't had any time off since March. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Okay. So any other suggestions are very welcome as per normal. And hopefully see you on Thursday. Thank you very much, Ewan. That's very kind of you. Just quickly say goodbye to a few people before we finish with the Dojo-kun. I don't know what all the French is going on there. There's lots of French. Good evening, Sensei George. Good evening, Magdalene. Hope you're well. Good evening, Emmy. And good evening, Sarah. Hope you're both well. And I think that is pretty much everybody. There's a lot of French going on. Thank you, Isaac. Ken, thank you, Andy. Okay, so I will finish with the Dojo-kun and then we'll finish the lesson there. Okay, so Kyotsuke. Dojo-kun. Hitotsu Jinkankou Kansei ni soromoto koto. Hitotsu Makato no michi o momoru koto. Hitotsu Doryoku no seishin yashinau koto. Hitotsu Regyo Monjo koto. Hitotsu Keki no yo imashimoru koto. And thank you as always for joining me in my kitchen. It's still in one piece, I definitely I came very close to seeing into breaking things, and I think it would have been me rather than the kitchen that would have gone. So I need to be mindful of that on Thursday. But thanks again for joining us. Please keep an eye on the YouTube channel and let me know if you like those videos. Obviously I've done a beginner's guide, or continuing to do that. I have lots more ideas, okay, to do kumite, the sets that we did last week, on Kyonippon kumite and Juppon kumite, on our own to start with, because I can't partner up with anybody, but eventually we'll have that on there. We'll have the katas, all of them, all 26 eventually, but we're talking, you know, I don't want to put it all on now, there's no point. So we're going to build that up as a way of, you know, being able to look at it whilst you're just resting at home, not sure what to do, can't quite remember a move on a kata, you can quickly then go back to it, or a particular move, etc. So that's the plan. Keep an eye on the web page, keep an eye on the Facebook page, and please do keep in touch. And if you're going away anywhere on holiday, whether it be in the UK or slightly further afield, then enjoy yourselves and have a lot of fun. Okay, Kyotsuke, we'll finish there, right? Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much. Oyasu nasai. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ja matane. See you later.